Coming up on Mountain News this morning, students from a dozen Eastern Kentucky high schools get some help with planning the next step of their education. And agricultural leaders here in the Commonwealth ask you to have some patience if you find yourself behind farm equipment during your daily drive.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. 5:32 on Wednesday. I almost said it was Tuesday. It's Wednesday. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning, and it's certainly a chilly start to the morning.
Absolutely it is. Yeah. We're looking at a chilly day out there, and temperatures in the 30s in a lot of locations this morning. So bundle up and be ready for it to stay cool most of the day. Let's go up on the mountain this morning. Pine Mountain, Whitesburg Mountain up there in Letcher County. No major issues, and we see, again, not too much fog up there as we start your day. A little bit of a blurry condition there at times. 39, Moorhead, 39, Hazard, 39, Williamsburg, 36. That's the coldest spot in the region in Clintwood right now. There could be some patchy frost over there on some of those rooftops in Southwest Virginia. 37 in Wise, 37 in Irvin, 36 also in Jonesville. Just notice that one as well. So again, Southwest Virginia folks, you probably got a little bit of frost on your cars this morning. Be ready for that. Not the first big frost of the season, but again, a frosty start for some. Again, we're looking at 40s across most of the region. 49 in Louisville is the warm spot. 40 in Carbondale, Illinois. 46 in Knoxville. 43 in the Tri-Cities, and 41 across the river in Cincinnati. 62 only this afternoon. It's going to be a nice day, but it's going to be a cool day across our region. Dakota?
All right, Brennan, thank you. Well, Kentucky State Police is investigating a deadly crash involving two vehicles over in Pike County. The crash happened Monday on Elkhorn Creek in the Elkhorn City community. Troopers discovered 32-year-old Wesley Childers of Draffin was driving an empty school bus when the bus crossed the center line, hitting a 2008 GMC being driven by 26-year-old Anthony Kirk of Williamson, West Virginia. Kirk was pronounced dead at the scene by the Pike County Coroner's Office. A crash involving a school bus sent at least one person to a hospital in Bell County. The Bell County Volunteer Fire Department received a call of a four-vehicle crash with injuries, including a fully loaded Bell County school bus. It happened along US 119 at Gary Callaway Road. The bus driver was in the northbound lane attempting to unload students and had his caution lights activated. A driver going southbound tried to stop for it when the bus it was behind was hit from behind, eventually causing several cars to pile up. At least one person was taken to Harlan ARH for treatment. No students or the bus driver were hurt in the crash. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office has released the name of the suspect arrested in connection with a bank robbery yesterday in southern Laurel County. The incident happened at around 12:50 p.m. at the Community Trust Bank across from the Sanders Cafe in Corbin. Deputies say Sean Fox of Gooden Lane walked into the bank with a pistol and demanded money. He left with an unknown amount of cash. Fox was found at a house near Corbin on the edge of Knox County. Both the money and pistol have been recovered. Fox was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Facility and is being charged with first-degree robbery. The former county attorney in Lawrence County is going to prison. Michael Hogan and his wife, legal secretary Joy Hogan, were sentenced on Tuesday for wire fraud. Michael was also sentenced for federal program theft. He was sentenced to more than 3 years in prison. Joy will spend around 1 year behind bars. The couple pleaded guilty in March. The indictment accused Michael Hogan of paying his wife more than $365,000 from the Lawrence County delinquent tax account. Among other things, they must serve 85% of their sentence and will then be on probation for 3 years. The U.S. Forestry Service is set to cut down 3,800 acres of trees in the Daniel Boone National Forest. Well, the goal is to improve the habitat of the area by promoting younger tree growth. But a new lawsuit claims the Forestry Service is ignoring data that shows it will have the opposite effect. Our Keaton Hall has more.
Kentucky Heartwood has filed a lawsuit challenging the logging of nearly 4,000 acres of trees in the Daniel Boone National Forest.
They plan to cut about 1/4 of all the forests that are over 100 years old in the project area and remove significant forest in the best blocks of interior mature forest that they have in the South Redbird District.
The lawsuit claims the logging will harm protected native species, remove old-growth trees, and increase the rate of landslides in the area.
We want to see the Forest Service reduce the amount of logging, and particularly reduce the amount of logging in areas that are exceptionally prone to landslides.
And Chef says the Forestry Service is well aware of the risks.
Through the Freedom of Information Act, we acquired documents, internal documents from former Daniel Boone staff to current staff describing how logging in the Redbird District has historically led to many landslides.
The U.S. Forestry Service declined to comment, but public documents say the purpose of the South Redbird project is to create room for younger forests by clearing out older ones.
That type of habitat is on the ground, and it does happen naturally. We've seen just in the last couple of years lots of storms that have brought down a lot of trees, and in fact much of the Redbird Crest Trail was closed for a good portion of last year because of tree fall from these storms.
Chef says Kentucky Heartwood provided alternatives to logging, but their ideas were not utilized. In Clay County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Chef also says he is worried about the world's 2 largest red hickory trees. They are located in the project zone, but are not marked to be cut as of now. Well, SOAR hosted its second healthcare career pathway fair at the Corbin Arena yesterday. Students and staff from 12 different high schools around eastern Kentucky went on a field trip to network with colleges and healthcare organizations to help students navigate their future.
It's just important for them to hear from the hospitals to say there's open jobs, there's good paying jobs, and then between our schools and our hospitals to say there's a ton of scholarships, right? Signing bonuses. So it's just important that kids, when they hear that there's no jobs in the region and they hear some of the thing, it's just not true.
Well, there were 19 different booths set up for students to network with, as well as breakout sessions with different activities. Students at several schools in the region were paid a visit by some college officials yesterday. Our Jordan Mullins has more from one visit in Floyd County, where University of Kentucky's president met with high school students and took a tour of the Floyd County School of Innovation campus.
University of Kentucky President Eli Capilouto and Stanley Pigman of the L. Stanley Pigman First Generation Scholarship Program paid a visit to several schools on Tuesday in Perry and Floyd counties. In Floyd County, Capilouto and Pigman met with students interested in several STEM fields and other career-ready pathways at the county's School of Innovation.
It's just a great opportunity for everyone. We're excited for the students, and we're equally as excited to have them here and welcome them to the Floyd County School of Innovation.
Capilouto and Pigman were given a tour of the campus to see many of the opportunities students have.
They're doing all these projects there with our community, but they're also learning Autodesk and Fusion and AutoCAD and programming while they're doing the stuff that's of interest of them. So their futures are going to be bright, and we're excited to see where UK fits in that mix.
Both got to see what these kids were learning firsthand, but also saw soft skills that make them more than just students.
To fuel your curiosity, to build your perseverance. Those are the kinds of things I saw today. So I know that makes for a bright future for our Commonwealth and for our country.
Capilouto also highlighted the students and faculty's dedication to learning.
The commitment to make sure your kids are able to return to school and learn. You know, you hear so much about the strengths of our people in Kentucky. I certainly feel it today.
Giving back, inspiring students, and offering new opportunities for all. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Dr. Capilouto and Pigman will be visiting schools throughout Pike and Johnson counties today. They say they look forward to meeting more bright young minds. Well, you may notice a couple more farm vehicles on the roads this time of year. It's harvest season, which means farmers have a quick window between getting the food from the fields to your table. Agricultural Commissioner Ryan Quirrell says year after year, more people move to the country, and at the same time, as farm machinery advances, the equipment becomes larger and more difficult to avoid.
As you may go out and enjoy picking a pumpkin in a pumpkin patch, just think about the other farmers in this conversation. And look, I know it's frustrating to get stuck behind a slow-moving vehicle, but we just want to make sure that Kentuckians share the road.
The agricultural commissioner says if you end up behind a farm vehicle at this time of year, that typically the time is equivalent to one cycle of a stoplight, which is really not that long at all. We'll just head this morning. A famous actor prepares to make his return as one of America's favorite X-Men. Stay with us. We have that story coming up.
All eyes are on Florida this morning as a major hurricane bears down on their west coast. I'll track Ian and talk about potential impacts for our neighbors in the Sunshine State and for us here at home in about 3 minutes.